interviewing job candidates is difficult because in a short time you need to sell them on what you have to offer and also assess them on their suitability to the job in question. Here are 6 practices that I follow when I interview people for a job. The first rule I follow is to make sure that everybody who's interviewed leaves with a positive picture of the company. Let's say you are filling 100 positions. You may be interviewing thousands of people in that process. Maybe you're not personally you, but the organization will. So it's very important that you leave them with a good impression, because those who you end up not hiring will become influencers in the market and the industry you operate. And you want them to have a good view and a respectful view of your company. Practice number 2 is use the interviewing time to educate your candidate. Educate them on the company culture, the values, the strategy, and even details of the job. Because people are at their most receptive when they are interviewing for a job, and they may remember word by word what you tell them. So take the opportunity to educate them during that process. Number 3, give them homework. Ask them to write about their job, to make a plan, to assess something you've written, and you thereby get an idea of how they operate, how they work, how they write, how they communicate. And they will enjoy it because they are learning about the job as they go. It's useful to have many people interview the same candidates and people from different departments. You get a better assessment of the person you are interviewing, and when they get hired, they will already know some of the people in the organization, and they will feel more welcome in the organization. When you interview, it's good if you can ignore the resume, because you need to understand the personality behind the resume. You need to understand who the person is, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and the resume doesn't necessarily tell that. So it's important to be able to ignore it and look through it and see the person you are interviewing. And finally, before I make up my mind on offering somebody a job, I try to see myself as the person's mentor or parent or grandparent or something, thinking of what is best for that individual, for that human being. And sometimes I come up with a different role than the one we are offering. And I realize that it's a great candidate, but not the right candidate for the job. So turning the question around and asking myself, what's the best place for this person, will help me determine whether it is the job I'm offering that is the best for that person.